Most women over 50 don't quit YouTube dramatically. They just quietly disappear. And the real reason has got nothing to do with time or tech skills or age. It's just the quiet disappearance. One week you skip an upload, then another, until eventually your channel just sits there gathering dust. We tell ourselves it's because we're too busy or that life is lifing, but really that's just surface stuff and there's probably something else going on. Today, I don't want to just talk about the problem. I want to look at the three actual paths that you can take. One, you can quit. Two, you can take a pause. Or three, you can reinvent yourself. Because if you've already ghosted your channel once and you're sitting there staring at the upload button, dreading it, then this might just be the intervention that you need today. But here's what most people get wrong about these three paths and why one of them might be exactly what you need right now. Let me show you, but first, let's get real about what quitting actually looks like. How do you know if you're in the danger zone? Well, it starts way before you stop posting. It usually starts with skipping a week. You tell yourself, I'm just going to miss one upload, no big deal. But then 1 week turns into two, then a month, and then suddenly you've got a 3-month gap that feels pretty hard to bridge and come back to. Then there's the content graveyard. I don't know about you, but I do have a few videos over the last 3 years that I have made and just never uploaded or even got to editing and then uploaded just because I wasn't sure about it. And let's just talk about YouTube Studio for a quick minute. It isn't always fun opening the YouTube Studio app and seeing the low numbers and a lot of downward arrows, as opposed to the happy little green uptick ones. The low numbers can hurt and it can feel like a personal failure. Which of these hits you the hardest? Is it the skipping weeks or several weeks? Is it the videos that you've made or even half made and you've just never finished or uploaded? Or is it the dread of opening the app? Because each one starts small, but just gets bigger. A little piece of you deciding that you don't matter. And the longer you ghost, the harder it is to come back. But the biggest symptom, it's the secrecy. You start hiding the channel from your friends because you're embarrassed about the low views that haven't grown since the last time they asked you about your channel. So you feel like you've got to kind of protect yourself from their judgment. If you are nodding along to any of this, you're not weak or not cut out for YouTube. I have been exactly where you are right now. 1 year ago on my first channel, I almost quit doing YouTube. Here's what happened. So it wasn't like it was a big catastrophe that happened. It was just a time of me making a lot of videos and just feeling like, I don't know, like I was like shouting into the void or just, I didn't really feel like I had people watching my videos, and I think I did have low views. Yeah, I had low views on my last channel, and I nearly quit YouTube. I started having sort of some kind of brutal monologue with myself about it. Who do I think I am? Is this some kind of vanity midlife project? And I bought a lot of gear, and it felt pretty self-indulgent that I hadn't gotten any further from 250 subscribers after 2 years of making videos and investing quite a lot, to be quite frank. Compared myself to creators who seem to have it all figured out, and I was really struggling to be able to see myself ever getting to where they are. I thought I was too late, and actually I thought that my channel was a bit dead. I thought I was a little bit late to the YouTube game, just an excuse because plenty of people at the time were older than me and just starting out. But my channel was starting to feel a little bit dead. Like I'd really talked myself into that place where I just felt like, what's the point? I didn't know any other YouTubers to be in community with and to have conversations with, and just to be able to kind of work out at what stage in this journey was I at. And yeah, I didn't really think about a pathway to be more successful with that channel, really. Plus, I didn't have any kind of core followers, really. Most of the comments that I got, they felt like a bit of a one-off, and I never knew or expected to see that person again. And probably in all of that 2 years, my memory now is just that, I don't know, a handful of comments every video. And yeah, I just couldn't seem to break through. But I realized the problem wasn't that I wasn't cut out for YouTube. The problem was thinking around being a midlife YouTuber. And looking back, I was chasing the wrong wins. That was frustrating. And now, 1 year after stopping that channel and doing this one, I've realized the real reasons that women over 50 quit. So there are actually three specific psychological reasons. And once you know them, you can't unknow them. Before I break them down, take a guess. What do you think is the biggest reason that women over 50 quit YouTube? Drop your answer in the comments. The first root reason is about how you're measuring success. We are using the wrong scoreboard. We're measuring over 40, over 50, over 60 plus scoreboards with 25-year-olds metrics because we see these kids blow up. Some of them are kids with like 10 other social platforms. We also see people our own age, their channels blow up, and it can really mess with our minds when it doesn't happen to us. Yeah, we can obsess over velocity. How many views in the first hour or day or week? Is it a 1 out of 10? Is it a 4 out of 10? How about we leave that obsessing to the young people because we're not all out here trying to chase viral videos at all costs. In fact, put your hand up if you've ever had a video go viral and nobody was more shocked about it than you because it wasn't the one that you put all the blood, the sweat, and the tears and the heartache into. It was maybe a video that you did on the fly. It might have been a video that from inspiration to upload, 2 hours, a whole 2 hours had gone by. But yeah, the point is that no one was more shocked than you that that particular video took off. All right. So that's reason number one, how we're measuring success. The second reason can hit even harder, and it's the reason most women stay silent about their struggles, and that is the shame of public stumbling. It's why a lot of women can stay silent about struggling through having a YouTube channel and wondering if they are ready to quit. I've even had one of my best friends ask me about a week ago when we were in the book section of a store, big department store. She said to me, "How's YouTube going? Are you making any money from it yet?" And I just said to her, "No, it's a long-term thing. Every video that I make is kind of like compound interest, and it's just one of those things that over time." I started like rambling, and then she had a follow-up question for me, "But do you enjoy it?" And I said, "Yes, I do. I want to be a full-time YouTuber." And she's like, "Oh, that's great. That's great." Also, she said, "You put a lot of time into it, don't you?" So yeah, we are clumsy beginners all over again when we start on YouTube. Like we've had careers or we're having careers and we're competent at all the things that we're competent at. And then you come onto YouTube and you are very public. People are going to see your videos. You want people, remember, to see your videos. That's what we're here for. But it's the building in public thing. Even 1 year or more into YouTube, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, there will never stop being things to learn about getting better at YouTube. And the fear of looking foolish in front of people is pretty real. I don't like it. I don't know if I'll ever like it. And so if video after video doesn't perform, we can find ourselves in a place of wondering, should I do another one? Should I change my niche? What am I even doing? All that stuff. Should I stop? We take it as a sign that we should stop because no one is forcing us to make YouTube videos, are they? No one is forcing me to come into this room while people are napping in the house and, people are doing their own thing. It's an effort to think about what you're going to say and to record the video, or if you're anything like me, starting 20 times because it just always takes me a very long time to get started every single YouTube video that I make. So let's move on to the third reason. The third reason is something that a lot of creators don't talk about all the time, but that is the isolation. A lot of your friends probably don't get it. They don't get why you've started YouTube now. Like, why now? Like, shouldn't you just be like putting your feet up and just like chilling and relaxing? If you don't have a creative friends group and you're one person in a room, or you're out and about in the wild battling the enormity of your mind and it's weighing heavily for you to quit. when it gets hard and when you don't see traction on your channel and you don't get the views that you think you deserve. Because the isolation factor makes the time factor feel much heavier at our delicate age and stage, right? Yeah, we hear that clock ticking a little bit louder than we did a few years ago. And we feel like we don't have 10 years to waste on a hobby that's not going to give back to us or be fruitful in some way or add value, enough value to our lives. So, therefore, wasting an afternoon of filming a video that just gets you 12 views, that can really feel like quite a big loss. And if there's one thing about human nature, is that people feel the weight of a loss more than they feel the weight of a win. It feels worse to lose something than it does feel good to gain something. And that's the trap. Okay, right. Quick recap. Number one, we're measuring success wrong. Number two, it is the shame of public stumbling. And number three is the isolation. But here's the good news. Once you understand these three root reasons, you can actually do something about them. And you don't have to be stuck in this cycle. These are three real choices, and there's no wrong choice. It's just about you claiming your decision instead of ghosting your audience. You need to pick a lane so you can stop carrying the guilt. Path number one is to quit on purpose. And I'm going to be really clear here. It is okay to admit that this particular season is over. Okay. You don't have to be a YouTuber forever just because you started. And if you choose this path, you're not giving up. It's more that you are graduating onto something because you've learned some stuff. Okay. By the very nature of you having a YouTube channel, you have learned stuff. And sometimes we have to do things to realize, oh, actually, that isn't something that I want to do. I thought I wanted to do that and I don't want to do it anymore. Like that's allowed. Okay. Treat the work. Okay. You can just, and if that's you, you can treat the work on your channel as like a legacy project or just, I don't know, like it's a season of learning. Like you did learn skills by uploading even one video onto YouTube. You've learned a bunch of stuff that everyone else out there that hasn't uploaded any YouTube videos hasn't learned. Okay. So there's quite a lot in there. Okay. There's lots of mechanics in there. So a legacy project is one way to look at having had a channel. And that can be like a bit of a time capsule of who you were at this period in your life and just, the sort of things that you thought about during this time. What was on your mind during this period of time? You don't have to delete the channel. You don't have to burn it down. You just make the decision that you're done with this. This is complete now and move on. No guilt. It's a perfectly valid choice. Path number two is the season break. And this is for if you're just tired or honestly don't just know for sure if you are done. But here's the rule, okay? You have to define the terms. You can't just say, I'm taking a break and leave it open ended because is that fair on your audience? And like, we actually haven't made a decision at that point by leaving it open ended. And that is how you ghost. By not telling your audience where you're going, that is how you ghost. By the way, I regret that I did this on my perfume channel. I literally just stopped it and didn't go back to it. But I ended on actually a high in the niche, in the perfume niche, because I went to a 3-day niche perfume convention and I made my final video on that. So that was a little bit ironic, wasn't it? That my final video would be at the highest point in my learning and my fragrance knowledge and experience. But on the other hand, by going to that niche perfume convention, that really affirmed my decision that I was going to take to not continue with fragrances just because I saw a lot of limitations that I just couldn't really get past. So yeah, so remember that every subscriber number is a whole real person and we want to respect those people, don't we? And if we just ghost them, it's just not ideal. So I do regret just leaving my channel and not putting any kind of farewell onto it. And in all honesty, I feel like perhaps that it's not completely over. I don't really know whether I'll go back to that. For this, You want to set a specific time frame, like 90 days. And during the 90 days, here are some rules. One, no deleting videos. Two, no looking at your analytics or obsessing over them. And maybe you might even want to move the YouTube Studio app off your front screen that you see all the time. Like, I don't know about you, but all of the apps that are on my front screen are my most used ones, but I just assume that everyone's like that. If you're thinking, but I don't have time to take a break, don't be a silly Billy. Of course you do. And you can use this time to see if you actually miss it. And if you get to day 85 and you're itching to film again, then you'll know you're not done. Path number 3 is my favorite one. It is stay and reinvent. And this means that you get to change the game completely and even to stop trying to be a perfect YouTuber. With all the favorite edits that you love to see in other videos, the perfect B-roll, sound effects even, this is where you can just take it back to basics, which is being a communicator. Teach people something or share something with people, share an aspect of your life or the journey that you are on right now, and giving people value. And now you get to change the metrics that are important to you. For example, instead of growth in a certain time frame, you might aim for number of videos to upload by a certain time. Instead of friction-filled filming and uploading, cut out as much friction as you can, some kind of lightly editing or even no editing. Do what feels good to you to film and upload. Just talk to your subscribers, or as I like to call them, friends that you haven't yet met in real life, because that's what you're doing. You're talking to one person, and lower the production value. Like, no one really cares about fancy production value, and raise the authenticity. And there it is. 3 ways to stop ghosting and start deciding about your channel. The worst place to be is in a place of indecision and just like carrying the burden, the weight of the guilt and obligation that you probably never set out for your YouTube channel to become. But sometimes if we hit a bit of a patch, then, we just get ourselves into these situations. And this is like women over 50 quitting YouTube. As I say, it's a bit of a silent go away. Okay. It's not anything dramatic. It's exactly the reason I stopped my channel. Today is the day that you stop ghosting and start deciding what you want to do. Are you going to quit? Are you going to pause? Are you going to reinvent? Thank you for listening to this podcast. And if you enjoyed it, then I think that you might enjoy watching and listening to this one.